What about you lesser spotted whiskey warriors, and welcome to another whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Novice. Thank you for joining me, where we are dancing our way through distilleries, which I haven't reviewed yet. And Tomintoul is one of such distilleries. Weirdly, and I'm saying that because they're a bit like, and I can't remember, there was a whiskey I reviewed not that long ago, it was a few reviews back, I can't remember, who I would have considered, and I'm going to be thinking about this the whole time, a sort of supermarket whiskey. And I felt like as if I had sort of outgrown them already, blah, 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 and here be's me, look at me. Well, Tomintoul to a certain extent would be a bit like that as well. But, you know, to a certain extent, so I just pretty much maybe bypassed these guys as supermarket whiskies. Well, who am I? Who am I indeed? I mean, you know, they're very established, certainly well established, owned by, let's look at Tomintoul. Owned by Angus Dundee, established in 1965, the Tomintoul distillery. And this one here, a Speyside distillery, this one, the 10-year-old ex-bourbon cask. Bottled at 40%. Is it chill filtered? Has it good colour added? Well, I would suggest probably. And there's lots and lots and lots of information on that label there, but not the stuff that we actually like. It's just, you know, it's a mess. But, you know, that's not what it's about. It's about what's inside the bottle. I can't say enough about the label. Shouldn't really matter. I mean, as long as the valid information's on the label, which it isn't really here, as long as, you know, I don't care what a bottle and a label really look like, as long as the whiskey's good inside it. So what's this whiskey like? Here we go. Speyside, honeysuckle. Honeysuckle's one, I can't remember whether I've mentioned this before. I certainly meant to mention it if I didn't. About honeysuckle. Honeysuckle's just technically a wild flower. And I'm blessed to have it growing around me because it's a nice looking thing. And every year when the honeysuckle flowers bloom, I pick one at least once, and I get my nose well into it. And yeah, it's all right to say the term honey where Speyside whiskey is concerned, but honeysuckle is even closer. It's more delicate than honey. It's just this lovely floral, and I know the word floral tends to get poo-pooed a bit where Speyside whiskies are concerned, but honestly, if you see honeysuckle, pick a flower, get your nose in there. It's wild. I don't think anybody's going to judge you for picking a honeysuckle bloom, and give it a go, because honestly, you don't, you know, once you've smelt it, Speyside just sort of comes to life. Vanilla hints, yes. Banana bread, yes. Even freshly cut grass, sweet, freshly cut, you know, good. Yeah, I don't know where I would go with that, but freshly cut grass, yeah. It's light and airy, typical sort of Speyside. There are, you know, brown sugar notes. It's sweet, but not overly sweet. It's just typical Speyside. All of those fresh, airy, floral notes. Sweet, sour, arrival, perfumed. Slightly perfumed. Not in a bad way. Just get this note right at the back of the palate there. I don't know, perfumed even. Eau de cologne. It's a weird note to try and describe. This is light. It's airy-fairy. There's loads and loads of flavour going on in it. It's, you know, it's weird. Rose water. I said eau de cologne. It's actually rose water. It's Turkish delight. There's hints of, oh yes, very much hints of Turkish delight in it. I like this. This is £35 a bottle-ish. It's a 10-year-old malt. Yes, it's bottled at 40%. Yes, it's chill filtered. Yes, there's colour added to it. It's delicate. And here's something that I'm going to suggest to you. Here's something I'm going to say that may sound a bit confusing. If I were starting my whiskey journey, it would be easy to say that this is a good beginner's whiskey. I don't think this is a good beginner's whiskey. I don't think a beginner would enjoy this the way that somebody who has become enthusiastic, somebody who's a little further on their journey, enjoys it. Certainly the way I enjoy it. It's granted, like a lot of Speyside whiskies, those light, airy, fairy ones, once your palate acclimates to it, the nose just becomes pretty much non-existent, and that's what's happened here. You know, the nose is there, but there's just it's all about what's going on in my palate now. But all of that Turkish delight, all of that rose water, all of those sort of eau de cologne and floral, flowery notes are still going on my palate and going on for ages, as is the finish. It's all about that Turkish delight, and rose water is really what's hanging around in the back of the palate. I haven't, as you can see, given this an awful lot of time. You know, I always suggested that I should give these whiskies more time. I used to be down much further down the bottle. Here's a bit of an issue I have with this series of whiskies. This, you know, looking at whiskies looking at distilleries that I've never reviewed before. This will take not just weeks, but months, perhaps years. And I'm buying to review. So I'm not, in some cases, the whiskies aren't getting maybe as long as they should. But to say that there's not a lot to talk about in this whiskey, I would appear that I'm wrong. It would appear that I'm actually, because I've said quite a bit about it. But I don't think that I'll ever learn a whole lot more about it than I've learned already. Put it like that. As a matter of fact, it's one of those whiskies that'll probably sit in my cabinet for quite a while. And every now and again, maybe if I've guests over, as a matter of fact, it would be a very good guest whiskey because there's plenty to say about it. You know, I do like this a lot, in that it's as light, airy, fairy Speysides go, it's a good one. The nose is starting to come back. As I say, that palate was great, and the palate, the finish. Very hard not to like it. I'll add a drop of water. There's not a lot left in the glass. Literally a drop, and I'll see you in a moment. So, it's had some water. It's had a little time. Slightly more peachy. Soft peach melba. Even peach melba yogurt. Even, you know, there's a slight biscuity note. So, like a sort of peachy, even digestive biscuit. Yeah. I have seen the term cheesecake elsewhere. So, yeah, certainly. Yeah, 40%. As expected, you add a drop of water to it, it just tends to collapse a little, although, you know, there's enough creaminess going on in the palate. You know, I said earlier that I don't think this would a beginner wouldn't find the benefit in this. It would certainly be perfect. There's absolutely nothing to offend here. It would be perfect to sit and sip of a night with friends and never, you know, never find anything wrong in it. I genuinely do find this, you know, very pleasant, very drinkable. And it is a good example of something that, I mean, all I'm asking out of this entire series of videos that I'm doing is, would I return to that distillery to try more? There's nothing that I have reviewed yet would ever stop me returning as bad as it may be, as bad as I may make it sound, I will still not be put off just based on one expression. I will go back. But this one from Tomintoul, being an affordable whiskey, being an inexpensive, almost supermarket whiskey, I'll happily stray around in Tomintoul to see what else they've got based on this alone. So there. It's worth noting that there's a couple of things that I didn't mention. One, it does say on the label, the gentle dram. It certainly is that. It certainly is. And the other thing to remember is, this is Angus Dundee, the same people behind our beloved Glencadam. And, different distilleries, yes, but people who know how to please with whiskey, people who know what pleasing whiskey is. Let's face it, Glencadam 10, Glencadam 15, Glencadam this, Glencadam that. You'll not hear too many of us complain about it. Tomintoul, you'll not hear us talk about it as much. But this is very pleasing. It's very, very pleasing. Anyway, what would I suggest as an alternative? Well, I'm going to slip away from Scotland, because I did, and I do quite regularly, describe it as honey in a bottle, and this is honeyed. I'm going to suggest something from Ireland, the Tyrconnell single malt. I reviewed this not that long ago as a palate reset, certainly this year, and I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed it. Once again, around the same price as the Tomintoul 10-year-old. The difference being that the Tyrconnell's bottled at 43%. There's just that little bit more heft, but it's just, once again, lovely honeysuckle creaminess and just unctuousness and very drinkable, soft but gentle. The gentle dram. All day long, I'd be happy to suggest either of these at £35 a bottle. There's nothing to dislike about them. And okay, you will get the purists saying, well, they're only 40%, they're only 43%. It's chill filtered, there's colour added. It's nice, all right? It's, sometimes just, it's nice whiskey. Enjoy it. Stop over-analysing things sometimes and just enjoy it. And that's, I say that. I'm being paid to analyse whiskey, I must admit. It's my job, but I'm not talking about this, by the way. Well, certain. Anyway, I'll not dig that hole any deeper. But when I just want to enjoy a nice, relaxing whiskey, there's nothing better than something Speyside or something honeyed like the Tyrconnell. So there, that's the way I'll leave it. I'll say thank you very much for joining me. As always a pleasure. Thank you very, very much to my patrons. Should anybody wish to join that group and show the channel a little more support, the details are in the video description below. I'll be back next time. I hope you can join me. Until then, look after yourselves. Here's to your good health. Cheers.
Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click and subscribe to be notified of further content.